What's up, guys? It's Derek here. Today we're doing a VOD review of an absolutely insane. Okay, it's one of my own games again. So I don't know. I had a really cool game, and it was off stream, and I wanted to do a VOD review of it because it was really cool and awesome. And let's check it out. Also, this person in my game said their GF is a huge fan, so shout out to Janu, I guess Janu's GF. Yeah, always so nice when someone pops into the game and says that they're a fan like that. It warms my heart every single time. And then also Blue 52, who okay, I was thinking about it. I was really hoping that they didn't say they're my fan because I ended up contesting them this game. But I'm sorry to Clue 52 if you're watching this game as well. I ended up contesting you, but it had to be done. I apologize. In any case, opener, we get dropped a Taric. I like Taric with AP items and AP units. You know, I think he fits really well into like a 4 Sork opener, but I have 0 Sorks right now. So I'm definitely down to just sell this Taric here, but you see there's like a little bit of there's like some tension in my chest about this. I regret selling this Taric if I am to sell him, but luckily on minions here. And I don't know, does this not feel like 2 times speed to you? Oh, there we go. Let me turn that on. Luckily, we get dropped a Lysandra, so we can hold on to the Taric, and we can hold on to all this stuff. What I see in this shop, and what I see for my item drops, is that we have a Zed in shop, and we have Ionia. I see out the lobby, don't see anyone who has a Zed already. And I recall I was watching, I think, Wajan Iverson, and he said, "Oh, if I think like Lilo gets dropped a Zed, he just always forces Zed reroll from this spot." And so I said, you know what, forget, I am down to play Zed reroll from this spot, and I see Silver Ticket, which I think makes a ton of sense for a comp like Zed. You're going to be rolling a ton, trying to find Zed3. Any reroll comp makes a lot of sense with something like Silver Ticket. You know, it's pretty basic. I also see Frequent Flyer, but I think Frequent Flyer, just based on stats at least, is just a worse version of Golden Ticket. You can probably reason that out. You're getting like basically 1 gold per roll after 10 rolls, whereas golden or silver ticket is giving you um zero point 0.6 gold per roll, but you also get it immediately and you get it based on your natural rolls. Um, yeah, so I would think that would make silver ticket better. It's kind of confusing though. So I just say, you know what? I also got dropped a bow there. I am completely down to play around Zed this game. I ended up leveling here. I think this was probably a mistake in hindsight. I don't know why. I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh, I won last round, so I can like level here and play a little bit for streak, but I didn't win last round, so I don't know what's wrong with me here. But I just level here and then immediately lose, and I'm like, okay, why did I do this? Like, I mean, it was nice to get the free reroll at the higher level to potentially have a chance of hitting like Zed or some Noxus unit or something that would be nice to fit onto the board, like Katarina or Kled or something. But I don't know. It doesn't really make sense. And now I'm in this sort of awkward spot where I'm like, okay, what am I gonna hold at 2-3 in order to make 20 gold? You know, am I gonna like make this Gen 2? I think I make another mistake here. I think I like honestly the sloppiest I played this game was the early game. Um, I probably should have just sold some of the units I had on board, just like ditched Irelia at this point. It would cause me to take a lot of damage, but I know this person was open, almost open, basically playing a really weak board in order to play for Tristana reroll. So instead I end up winning this fight. I make like Jin 2 and Viego 2, I believe, which I mean makes for a pretty strong board. The problem is I lose my loss streak. I mean, in hindsight, it's not horrible. I'm not like full committed to loss streak here. I want to take Sword here because IE is one of Zed's best items. Just giving his spell the ability to crit is really important. I think based on what I've heard, BIS is IE, Titans, and Hand of Justice. You want, you know, IE so his spell can crit, Hand of Justice so he can heal, and also it has really good synergy with IE. And then you want Titans just because, you know, he's going to stack it up a lot as a rogue. You will see later. You know, he'll take a bunch of aggro, get a bunch of Titan stacks, then dash to the backline and finish stacking it. So yeah, I decide I'm not going to play for win streak here because, like, look at my board. Even if I level here, like, what am I actually leveling for? And I can make 30. So I just decide, okay, I'm going to go back to loss streaking. And so, like, at the end of the world, winning 2-3 wasn't the worst. In hindsight, I don't know. I thought it was actually a lot worse than it was, but I do get to play a reasonably solid board. I kill a unit here. I don't end up like bleeding out super hard. So it's probably not the end of the world. The problem is what happens here is that like I really want to make 40 gold. And so I'm like, okay, what am I going to do here? And I have the idea of like, okay, well, eventually I'm going to not be playing Jin or Irelia like late game. So why not sell them both right now? I don't know. This is also kind of sketch. Watching this back, wow, about reviewing your own games, you can get a lot of it. I don't know if this was the correct play. I mean, it makes me 40, but like having that those two Ionia units, like potentially Jin 2 and Irelia 2 to stabilize my early board, I feel like that would have helped a lot. Maybe you can make the argument that I'm gonna roll a decent bit at 3-2 to try to find this board with Silver Ticket. But, like, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I play Lysandra here over Talia because I think she's gonna be slightly stronger. But I almost definitely should have just played Talia because I mean you're never gonna get exactly 4 gold, so I guess it's fine. But like if somehow I got exactly 4 gold, I wouldn't have made Econ with Talia, but I would have with Lysandra. But that actually never happened, so it's fine. We get drop Titans here, which is amazing, and this Rod, which is ideally going to be a Katarina item later. We're gonna go like Zed Katarina duo carry. I think that's the strongest version of the board. I really don't play this comp too much. I think this is my first time ever actually playing Zed Reroll on like live servers. I might have played it a little bit on PBE. We can talk a little bit about this positioning, by the way. Oh yeah, but then I see this person who called Noxus at the beginning of the game. They have Katarina 2, which is like, what? Like, they don't even have an Econ augment, and they hit Katarina 2? Like, that's kind of scary. But we'll see how it develops later. But yeah, you see, I am breaking out the team builder, trying to figure, okay, Zed, Kled, Katarina, Set, Irelia just for Ionia, and then just, like, throw Darius in, and, like, boom, that's my board. Okay, so these augment choices are really interesting. I see Pandora's Bench, but, like, there's actually no real synergy with this and Pandora's Bench, so I was like, I don't really need to. I roll my choices here, and I see Bronze Ticket. Every 4 shop refreshes, gain a free refresh. That has synergy with Golden Ticket that's going to grant me more free refreshes. They kind of both feed off of each other, where this wants me to reroll a lot and this wants me to reroll a lot. You always, always, always want your augments to be scaling off of each other. So, combat augments scale off each other. If you have like an augment that gives you HP and an augment that gives you armor and MR, those scale off of each other. So I just said, you know what, this actually sounds amazing. Let's go for this. And you can already see the number of free rerolls I'm generating. I want to roll down here for Z2, but I just can't find it for whatever reason, even with all those rerolls. I do find 5 sets, though, who is going to be a very, very integral part of this team comp later. He's just going to be a super tank. So not too mad about the 5 sets, though I really, really want to find Z2, especially because he's fully itemized. I'd also like to find like a Katarina. I find some echoes here. Ideally, you just play Zed plus Cat, or Rogue is just not very strong. So, normally you're playing around this version. I see the Katarina here, but I'm a little bit conflicted here. And this would probably be better if I was, like more comfortable with this board. Like I could fit in Nox here if I wanted to with just Katarina plus Kled. And like maybe if stuff was 2-starred, it would be stronger, but I'm like sort of the opinion that that's actually weaker right now. Because, I have Gwen and I have Viego too, so yes, it's sort of difficult. I get first pick on this carousel here, and I want a glove here, not only because glove for JJ Katarina is really good, but the last Z item I want is going to be Hodge here, so I'm just going to look for BISZ, or if I end up getting dropped like some Katarina items, I can just go JG. Yeah. Oh, also, this is it's Placidium Library, right? Is what this galaxy is called, which means that we get a free spatula of our choice this game, or an emblem of our choice this game. I always call it a spat. The second that I see Darius too, I say, okay, I can finally pivot this board, and this can allow me to make some econ. And I make Slayer Spat, put it onto Katarina, and so finally we have kind of got the board online at 3-5 at 47 HP. It looks like a pretty scary spot. I was kind of afraid in this spot, like, oh, am I just going 8 this game? Like, I really would like to stabilize on like ideally a lot more HP than this, and I know that all my Noxus units are going to be contested by Clue52, who is 96 HP win streaking. So I'm like, wait, is this game just like an 8th? But I would never post an 8th on YouTube, surely, right? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Here's the positioning, by the way. Shout out to here. Can I just go back like a tiny bit? I'll just wait until our next fight to show it. Shout out to Kai. If you guys don't watch Kai's YouTube videos, you should absolutely watch them and watch his Twitch streams. I am sometimes in those Twitch streams just trolling him a little bit. But shout out to his content. He is an absolutely amazing content creator. Puts a ton of work into his his thumbnails, the editing on his videos, that kind of stuff. He's an absolute beast. He really knows how to play. I feel like I know TFT, and I mean Kai knows TFT very well, but like I'm like pretty good at TFT, and he's like really, really good at like the YouTube side of it, like the like marketing videos and knowing how to make YouTube videos that pop off, kind of thing. So yeah, we roll really deep here. I say, you know what, fuck it. Look at my augments. I can roll for Z3, but I can't actually find it. I end up 1 off. But yeah, let's look at the positioning for a second. So it's Zed top left corner, Katarina top right corner, and then your main tank in the middle, and then some kind of secondary tanks behind the Zed. What this is going to do is that the enemy carries are going to aggro into our rogues immediately, proc their rogue bonus, and then they're going to drop aggro, right? And they're going to aggro onto the unit in the middle or the units that end up walking up. So what this it does is it not only procs Rogue early to get them to the backline, but also then ends up making them focus our biggest tank. Once they kill the tank, they'll redirect onto our rogues, but ideally our rogues have killed their backline before they've redirected onto our tank. So this sort of like, Kyle even sometimes put unit here, and then units in the corners. And he said he got this from Liluo, and I've seen Liluo do this same thing. So, I mean, really credit to Liluo, but credit to Kai for finding it. So yeah, itemization situation here. It's actually, oh, it's so awkward. I feel really bad about this spot because I want to save this glove for Hodge. I would think maybe BT would be okay. The problem with going Hodge BT is then you're left with this ZZ Rot portal, and ZZ Rot's portal is still bugged, where if you summon the little doggy, it turns off the Ionia bonus for all of your units. So I'm like, do I really want to make BT? I really want to save this for Hodge. Do I want to make Guardbreaker? No, I can't make Guardbreaker, because when I save this, I need to hold the glove. But then what am I making BT? I think I should have just made GS in this position here, and just slammed it on like Darius, or even like Katarina. I think GS is fine. I also wanted to retain the Giant's Belt for a tank item onto set. And so like, if I slam Giant's Belt, somewhere else, um, if I make like Guardbreaker or like Zeke's or something. I thought about Zeke's for a little while, but then I lose the set item, and I really want to have my set because he's 3-star. So I end up just making the Ionic Spark here, which I think is fine. I don't really care for either of these augments too much, and Slayer Crest seems really good here. Gives me another Kled, and is going to give me a Darius. I continue the roll. It was just so hard to roll that gold last round, and I finally hit set 3. So I think, okay, the board should be relatively stable. This is where you see I'm like considering Zeke's, but then I think, okay, wait, the value of a Giant's Belt item onto this set, like a Redemption or a Warmogs, Sunfire is not really great in this comp, is very high. So you see, I'm so close to slamming this, but then I decide not to. I think especially with the Slayer Crest onto Darius, though, like, I should have just slammed GS this fight. I also fight Clue52, who's win streaking here, and if only I had slammed the GS, I would have won this fight. So I'm kicking myself here, and I'm like, I'm 32 HP. That was such a crucial fight. I cannot believe I lost this. It feels so bad. But it'll be okay in the end, surely. The nice thing is that my insane combination of augments has provided me so many free rolls that I have 6 Dariuses and 4 Katarinas. And if you looked at Clue52's board there, I believe he did not have any extra Dariuses or Katarinas. So I realized that, wait a minute, like, because my augments are so good, I can actually hit these guys 3-starred. Something that you should always consider when you are contested in a reroll comp is if the other person has an augment that sort of like supplements their rolling or supplements like allowing them to hit more units. If you're contesting someone and they have Trade Sector or they have Golden Ticket or something, it's way harder to end up getting what you want because they are going to have way more rerolls than you. So, if you on average have hit 3 Dariuses in a spot, they'll on average have like double your rolls or 1.5 times your rolls, and so they'll have hit like 5 Dariuses. And then once those get taken out of the pool, it becomes harder and harder for you to hit. I do end up getting my Hodge here, and I decide, okay, I really want to level here. I'd also really like to find a Slayer in this spot, either Gwen or Kale. So I decide to roll a tiny bit. I didn't really want to roll past 10, I don't think, just because I don't want to destroy my econ, but I want to roll a little bit. But at the end of the day, second Darius here that's benefiting from Noxus, and Juggernaut is not too bad. So yeah, but yeah, you see the positioning there. My Zed almost automatically gets the rogue bonus proc, goes to backline, and just one-shots that Vel'Koz. And now I'm feeling not necessarily like safe, I would say, but definitely not bad. I hit another Katarina too here, and say I'm like, okay, I'm actually kind of close to hitting this, and I have 7 Dariuses. I think Clue52 notices that and says, oh shit. Clue52 actually plays this game very well. Ends up, using that win streak. A lot of people, like bad players, would just say, also, okay, so I really want to point this out. If you look at this fight, this is where this positioning, let's just slow it down to 1 time speed, really pops off. You see all of these units aggro onto my Zed. They immediately, especially with the Vel'Koz, or what is this unit called? Belveth. Yeah, they're all void units, I'm sorry. Immediately procs. My Titan's Resolve gets me to full stacks. I proc Rogue, go to backline, and boom, one-shot the Belveth just immediately. How beautiful is that, man? This is why this positioning is so good, because I get my full Titans proc, go to backline, kill their carry immediately, and then heal up to full. So now I'm hitting this Kaisa and just absolutely destroying her. So yeah, that is why this positioning works, and that is like what it's meant to do in theory. So I'd absolutely try it out. But yeah, I look at his board. I see he's only got 4 Dariuses. He only has 3 Katarinas. So I think, okay, I see the green light. I am not feeling worried about being contested. I also say he pushes level 8. He plays this really smart, just decides to go sort of like a fast 9 style of Noxus because he knows it's going to be really hard for him to hit with me contesting him. So he pushes levels. I mean, this is like the circle of reroll. If one of you is hitting really hard, then the other person can opt to just push levels, and in their case, they're hoping that I like somehow die. We find the Gwens, and just start rolling here because I'm so close, and I know I get so many free rerolls that I just say, frick it, okay, I'm just gonna roll here. I end up having to sell the Kleds, which feel a little bit bad, but it's okay. I make a healing item on Katarina because I know we're very close to Katarina, and then we make a tank item onto Set, which is Warmogs. I was stuck between Warmogs and Redemption. Redemption tends to be good on really high HP targets. The problem is, like, I'm not really getting much value from, like, Redemption healing other units because my board is so spread out. So I feel like Warmog should be better in general, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I find Shen here, which is just going to do better than Yasuo. Yasuo is not really very necessary to this board. He's, he's not going to do much as Yasuo 1 star, whereas Shen 1 star might actually, uh, use a shield that's going to do something. Like, Yasuo is not going to kill anything. But yeah, I mean, you look at their board, you look at mine. I am just the board that's actually hit everything. So now that we finally hit most of our board, we can just totally stomp this fight. They are level 8 50 gold though, and I'm level 7 0 gold. So you can definitely see that they have an economic advantage. But now that I'm one off Darius 3, I decide, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna roll on for Darius 3, and then I'll just use the rest of my free rerolls here. And so now I think, okay, I'm actually in a really amazing spot. This really insane augment combination has allowed me to hit my board way faster than you normally would have. I have my tank, I have my Zed online. Once again, same side on this Bel'Veth, and Bel'Veth does such a good job at proccing Titans here, but we don't actually kill the Bel'Veth immediately. This is a really scary fight because I know Bel'Veth has Edge of Night. It's very annoying for my board, but we proc it, and then Zed just one-shots her, so it's all good. I absolutely want this BT in this situation because my Darius needs a third item, and he has no healing. Boom, BT, perfect. I mean, he has 15% from Slayer, but that's really not enough. And so we get BT for him, and it feels amazing. Like, everything is coming up Millhouse. We are hitting everything that we need. And now we're just going to chill out a little bit longer, eventually try to hit Katarina 3, and then after that we'll push levels and try to get 6 Slayer in. That's the game plan from this spot. We just want our Zed to be the same side as their carries, just because Katarina can, you know, sometimes end up doing this troll thing where she ults on frontline, then gets rogue procced, and then dashes back to frontline, whereas Zed is never really going to do that as long as he doesn't bug out. So yeah, I really want Darius same side as their carry. Also, Katarina is just going to do way less damage than our Z3. I think it said Darius, but yeah, Z3. You want same side as their carry, just so that he can one-shot everything. I also hit this Kled again. I'm like, maybe I'll hit Kled 3. I mean, it's a 0-item Kled, so it's really not doing anything, but maybe late game I can get an item onto him. I also messed up my positioning this fight with switching the Katarina. I really want Ionic Spark to be the same side as Gwen, so that like Gwen is hitting this unit that is also getting shred by Katarina. They're the sisters, the magic damage sisters that are popping off. So I want them to stay next to each other. I end up fighting this player who, oh yeah, this is Clue holding a ton of units. They're holding the Shurima Noxus variation, which I was talking to Dorwaza about the other day. He was talking about like this version of Shurima +1. I always put my Shurima spat on like onto Echo, but he was talking about you can put your Shurima spat onto like a Nasus, and it's actually really strong. So I was like, oh, that's actually pretty sick. So yeah, hit another Kale here, or it is kind of another Kale. So I'm like, okay, I can finally play this. I want another tank item for Set here, so it's just Warmogs. Morelos doesn't really do anything because we already get healing reduction from Katarina. I decide that I can just push 8 here because I'm in such a strong spot, and then at 8 I can still hit Katarina because it's the same odds, 7 versus 8, but this allows me to immediately spike at 6 Slayer, in which is a huge spike. It's another 20% increase in damage on all of my Slayers, and I have so many Slayers on this board, so it should help me out a ton. This is actually a relatively close fight. You can maybe make the argument that without 6 Slayers, I don't win this. So yeah, I'm very happy with that win, and with that win, we have secured top 4. I'm just rolling here to use my free rerolls. I immediately hit Aatrox, who I want to put same side as Zed, so that when he dies, he sort of like attaches onto the Zed. I even do like a sort of weird positioning like this where I put Darius in the same spot as well, so it'll either attach to like Zed or Darius. I don't know. This is kind of weird. I don't really love it because like it means that Zed might not immediately take aggro, and you look like it takes Zed a while to proc Rogue here, and it's actually kind of a scary fight. But still, my board is way too strong for this player, so we do end up stomping that fight. And at this point, all I have left to do is hit Katarina 3, and then we're just done. So I just decide, you know what, Econ at this point doesn't really matter too much. They're 24 HP. This game is very close to being done. So I'm just going to roll and try to find Katarina 3. And I believe I do actually. Oh, yeah. I roll at the last second and hit a shot with Katarina and Kled in it. So I'm like, okay, well, I have to lock this. And it feels bad because I waste a free reroll as well. If I was a little bit faster, I mean, I don't know, because I'm rolling just to 0, I can't actually hit this Katarina. But yeah, we end up actually even losing this fight, which I'm like, oh, wait, I lost? That's kind of scary. Um, this carousel here, I see another Slayer spat, and I decide, fuck it. Like, I don't know if this was actually correct, because I don't actually really have any carry to put it on. I'm like looking at my board. I'm like, I could put it on Set or I could put it on Shen. And so I'm like, okay, fine. And I'm like, I could cut a Slayer, but like, what am I really doing? I even hit Kled 3 here with no item. I'm pretty sure I should have just taken Titans here. It could have either been Titans Set or it could have been Titans Kled, but I got a little bit overwhelmed and I was like, really, 7 Slayers isn't bad. Put a Slayer spat onto my Set. Maybe he'll do a little damage during this fight. And he does, look, he does like 2,400 damage. It's not bad. But yeah, I mean, at this point, my board has gotten so strong that, I mean, even though they have like RE2 and they're capped out level 9 board, you just can't beat this Zed board when it's super capped. I think, especially after the nerfs, the C patch that just came out yesterday evening, which is going to be 2 days ago because this video is going to come out the day after I record it. I think a lot of people are talking about the Zed comp as being one of the strongest comps in the game. Also, look how close this fight is, man. See how low my Zed. Let's do an instant replay on that fight just because of my heart actually stopped in this fight because I realized I have that same side as Ari, which is great if you want to kill her, but it's really bad for the possibility that she's going to mana reave my Zed, stop him from casting, and maybe something horrible will happen. You see, he gets rogue procced and goes down to like 1 HP here, and he's mana reave, casts here, and then boom, his entire health bar comes back with all the damage he does. Then Ari gets him down super low again, but then he just casts immediately again because of all the damage Ari did, and it's a wrap. Really close fight, actually. Like if they had killed Zed, they could have easily killed like a lot of my other units. So really scary fight. And like imagine they get a big Ari ult off with Zed dead. Like maybe I lose this. So really close. GG to Clue 52 in this game. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just wanted to show you guys sort of what this comp is capable of, and also this insane augment combo that I got. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitch and all of my other links, my Discord, where you can hang out with other people in my community, get access to coaching. What else do I have down there? Like Twitter and stuff. Check that all out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.